Hello and welcome back to Nadya's Identity Files. I have with me the beautiful and multi-talented Alicia Skye.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we're looking out to the good old Hollywood Boulevard. We still have a Christmas sweater sale going on across the street.
Oh, yes.
And Hollywood tour van. You know, it just doesn't get any better than this. The drizzle. People are looking fearful of this quote-unquote quasi-torrential rain.
I don't even know what's going on right now. Like, what is this stuff coming out of the sky?
What is this? Oh, you're from PA.
I know. I've been here for like 10 years, though, so I'm not used to it anymore.
You still get kind of like, you get sketched out now at the rain like an LA native?
I'm just like, what is going on?
What is this on my face? Forget snowfall and
rain. Gotta cover it up. Gotta put on a hat, umbrella.
Right? Like beanies.
Don't get the hair wet or you can't take any pictures the entire day.
Right. Hey, you know, I'm all about that like hair in the rain thing. It's all good. So I'm really, really psyched to have you here to talk about your identity in the context of music, in the context of your journey. Obviously, you're a singer-songwriter. You're super dynamic. You do some modeling too, yeah? You're all like all over the place.
Here and there. Thank you.
So great.
Just to try to do it all.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of what we all do here in Hollywood, yeah.
You have to be a hyphenate in the city.
You have to be a hyphenate, but you have to be a hyphenate who actually executes.
Exactly.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about your journey?
So it's a long journey. I've been out here for almost 10 years now, and I can't believe how fast time has gone by. But yeah, I started out here when I was 19, came here by myself.
Same.
Moved here with $30 in my bank account. I just kind of winged it. I'm like, I'm going to do this. And my parents were like, I don't believe you. I'm like, all right. Bye. They're like, what? You're actually leaving? I'm like, yeah. And I told you since I was like 10 I was going to do this.
Oh my gosh, that's so similar.
Yeah, so I've been out here doing my music and been working at it for a long time. And finally, last year, I just decided I was going to do this 110%. And I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to have any plan B. Like, I'm doing music and that's it. Right. So that gave me the fire to really just make this my full-time thing. Otherwise, like, I didn't want to be that girl who wakes up 20 years from now who's like, oh, I wish I would have. I know, like, in my heart, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. And 10 years is a long time. And obviously, I'm sure, and I know, I know that you've had so much personal growth in that time that's contributed to your career as an artist, you know, how you've explored yourself as an artist, how you've explored in your music. And speaking of, you have an upcoming album that's set to launch soon, huh?
Yes, I do. I'm really excited. I've been working on this album for a few years now, and this summer I was in the studio almost every day just putting it together, and it's finally done. There's 11 songs, and they're all complete, and
Yay!
They're all stories of my life and my journey, and mostly exploring my relationships and different topics in just like growing up and being in your 20s. Like there's a song about like being a boss, being successful. There's a song about living through your secrets and exploring that. And there's a song about just like having a crush. There's a song about like having highs in life, like over a relationship. So
it sounds like something that a lot of people are going to relate to. In addition to your beautiful voice, you know, you're really digging into some important issues that, I mean, I think that just about anyone is going to be able to connect with.
I wanted this album to be a story that a lot of people can relate to. It's not just a party album. It's not just breakup songs. I mean, there's a few, but I wanted to touch on everything that a person can explore in their lives. That way everybody can relate to it in some way or another.
Perfect. And you have a song called, I love this name, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hey.
That song was such a random thing. I didn't even plan for that to happen. It just came out when I was like in my friend's car.
That's amazing.
Driving around in Venice.
That's so cool. And you have a preview out of the song right now.
Yeah, 30 seconds. And I'm going to be dropping the song soon, in a couple weeks. And
2 weeks.
Yeah. I'll release the date soon. But it's going to be soon, and I'm going to drop the video that we worked so hard on, and I'm really excited.
Well, let's check it out.
Yes, let's do it.
Sorry, I really don't think that you get my style. You see, materialistic things only last a while. Ooh, love is forever, baby. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Mr. Fancy Pants, showing off your money like that. Hey, Mr. Fancy Pants, why you trying to look so bad? Rolling on the street in your sports Everybody looking at you looking like that. Oh, hey, Mr. Fancy Pants, Mr. Fancy Pants. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa.
Wow, that's so great. I love it. You have such
Thank
you have such a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And it's like, I feel like you are really good at crossing over. Like you can go from being an acoustic artist to being more up-tempo, upbeat with your music. So you have a wide breadth of things that you can do, which is really great.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to just be able to do it all. Like the most comfortable place to perform is maybe Bar Lubitsch, where you're playing to the living room of your friends and you can
Right.
hear everything.
Right.
The club thing kind of scares me because you can't control it. There's
Yeah.
so many different things that can happen.
There's a lot of variables, obviously. So you've had a really exciting journey, and a lot of your songs, I'm sure, in your upcoming album could be connected to some aspect of your identity, because as I was saying earlier, our stories, our personal journeys are in large part what contribute to our self-identification, even more than what is superimposed onto us by society in terms of, this is your gender, this is who you are, et cetera, et cetera. It's our authenticity, which is derived from our personal experiences, which by and large make us who we are. So can you talk a little bit about how your identity as a performer, or just in general, has, or rather how your journey has contributed to your identity?
How my journey has contributed to my identity. That's a really interesting question. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Yeah,
So-
there's time for everything.
It's a show about identity.
Yes.
Let me think about that. I mean, being an artist has definitely contributed to my identity, especially in the city of Los Angeles. And whenever I go to other places, the first thing people ask me when they see me, they're like, "Hey, Alicia, how's your music?" I'm like, "It's good."
Right.
But then I get mad. I'm like, why are they only asking me about my music? Not how are you? But then
Yeah.
if they don't ask me about my music, then I get mad also. So it's kind of a catch-22. But
Right.
yeah, being an artist, it's like a stamp you're putting on yourself, and that gives people something to ask you about. And being an artist has shaped my identity because everything I do in my life is to contribute to being an artist.
Right.
And everything I do is to advance my career and just put my music out there. That way I could reach the entire world eventually.
Right. And obviously your artistry is much more complex and nuanced than people are just going to be than just a label artist. So I can understand when you're asked that question, it's almost as if you feel like they're just looking at that label rather than everything that you've done to put into allowing yourself to carry that as a part of who you are.
Right. And not only am I just an artist, I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm a business person. I have a lot of business ventures that I want to do. So when people just put me into that artist category, a lot of people think of an artist, they're like somebody who parties, they do drugs, they drink. All they do is sit around the house and paint in their PJs.
Well,
that's
those are
not
all
me.
stereotypes. And if you're going to be a real artist, you are innately entrepreneurial. And I think that a lot of people choose to ignore that because when they think of an entrepreneur, they think of an entrepreneur in a very specific context, in a very specific canon.
Like
which
sitting
is
there
untrue.
in a suit and
Sitting there in
being
a
on the
suit,
phone all day.
Being on the phone all day. It's
But,
like a stock photo, like
I know.
Shutterstock.
In today's music business, though, you can't just be an artist. You have to do everything. You have to be a graphic designer. You have to be a marketing expert. I'm on my social media all day, so I've become a social media expert because that's what you have to do now.
Right.
You have to keep it all in-house and be a DIY artist.
Totally.
DIY marketing, everything.
Up 150%. 150%.
And not only do you have to do all that stuff, you also have to engage with all of your fans every single day.
All the time.
It's a full-time job. But I love it, though.
You love it because, when you're doing your music, you're building connection. You're building relationships with people that are following you.
Right. And nowadays, you can't just sit there as an artist behind a screen and hope that people will engage with you and follow you, because if you don't write back to a fan, they're going to feel snubbed.
They're going to
and
feel
they won't want to be
neglected.
involved anymore. They'll be like, oh, well, this artist will talk to me, so I'm going to go follow this person.
Right. There's so many other people out there that they would be like, well, this person will respond to me, so forget about this person.
Yeah.
But obviously you're on target and you're on point with your engagement, so good for you.
Thanks.
For keeping that up. One last question before I cut to an interview with your best friend, Julia, and of course we'll
Love
have her
her.
around. She's amazing, as are you. And
Thank you.
together,
So you.
you're like a dynamic, so dynamic together. It's wonderful. So at our round table, we're really going to be exploring the relationship between you two and how you've worked together to have this amazing journey. But first, really fast, I want to ask, has there ever been a time where you felt particularly insecure in your identity as a performer?
Absolutely, because a lot of times, like, we as artists will look at other artists who are more established, who have millions of fans, and compare ourselves automatically. So that's an automatic insecurity within a lot of artists that I know, including myself. But the way that I just started to think about it is, look how far that you've come as an artist. Like, look where you were 10 years ago and look where you are now, and that's all you have to compare yourself with. Because if you start comparing yourself to Ariana Grande and Tovlo and Britney, who have been doing this, and they have mass marketing teams, you're just going to be disappointed.
Yeah. And the thing is, they are them. That's them. You're you. There's only one Alicia Skye. So I almost screwed up your name again. You're going to have, next time I do that, you're gonna be like, like right here on the air.
It's Alicia.
Watching, like, oh my God, there's violence in that studio. Like, what's happening?
Bringing it.
Bring it. Yeah, some people, they are like, Nadya.
I
like,
Nadya.
You know, on Facebook, how you have like that little like phonetic tool where you can get people to like pronounce your name right. Yeah, I think we all need that.
It's useful.
It's
I think I have that on mine too.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have mine set up. I should. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
It's a lot of fun. But we're going to bring you on back with Julia in just a little bit.
Perfect.
Stay tuned.